Hello everybody and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope we're doing well, and today we're doing a box office preview for this upcoming weekend, which sees the release of Jurassic World Dominion. It's opening up later tonight, and also it sees the third weekend of Top Gun Maverick, and there is an expectation that this film will have yet another record hold in the third week of its release, expected to only drop 36% after only dropping 29% after its second weekend, which again, these numbers are completely insane. And so now that some competition is coming to the box office, Maverick is still expected to hold its own and to even surpass that of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which has been out for a longer time than this film. So good news all around for Top Gun Maverick, and of course for Jurassic World Dominion as well. Before we get any further though, please make sure you smash that like button, light up that fire button if you're watching over on Odyssey, and also make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with that bell notification on. That way you know every time a new video or live stream goes live on the channel. So of course, the big news is that Jurassic World Dominion is opening up to $150.4 million in the domestic opening. This film has already opened worldwide and has already raked in over $50 million in the select international markets that it is available in, currently tracking ahead of even the original Jurassic World and the sequel Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So this film is expected to do better all around than the second film in the franchise, which still made around $1.3 billion. And so if that is indeed the case, and if Dominion's able to do better than the second film, but maybe not as good as the first film, you're seeing a film that could end up around maybe $1.5 billion as the first film, especially when you adjust those numbers for inflation when it came out in 2015, ended up around $1.8 billion. I think we sometimes forget just how large of a property Jurassic World Dominion, or rather the Jurassic World franchise, Jurassic Park franchise truly is. And if you look back at those numbers, you think to yourself, man, I forgot that the first one made $1.8 billion. I forgot the second one made $1.3 billion. It's kind of insane to think about in a lot of ways. And so Dominion is set to be a massive success and could potentially be the biggest box office hit of the summer. However, Top Gun Maverick is definitely going to be providing some competition, at the very least in the domestic marketplace, because the film is expected to make another $57.4 million, a 36% hold, or a 36% drop, depending on how you look at it, and is expected to end up around $401 million domestically, which would put that ahead of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, as you can see right there. $4.9 million expected for that film, with a 47% drop now in its, 6th or 7th week of release. And as you can see, that would put the domestic number for Top Gun Maverick after only a few weeks ahead of where Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is. And so this is looking very, very good for the prospects of Top Gun Maverick to be also one of the highest grossing films of the summer, and for the potential to reach even that of $1 billion if these types of holds even continue, not just in the midst of competition from Jurassic World Dominion, but also even further down the line with other films expected to come out as well. So yeah, it's looking very good, and it's not looking like there is a whole lot of properties or a whole lot of IPs that are going to be able to slow down the momentum of Maverick. Again, strong word of mouth has really been the strong the strong factor of Top Gun Maverick, because it is a good film, and because it is a film that a lot of people have seen once, twice, 3 times, and have said to others, hey, yeah, you need to go see this film. This film is fantastic. Yeah, you may not like certain aspects of maybe Tom Cruise's personality. Obviously, he's definitely a bit of a problem in real life, but it doesn't take away from the amazing visual shots. It doesn't take away from the amazing just visual sequences that you're able to see with these actual cameras attached to these real life jets, and these actors actually in the jets that are being flown. And they are truly phenomenal in so many different ways. And so that is clearly showing at the box office, and it shows that, hey, all that fans want, all that audiences want, are films that are entertaining, that aren't going to preach to them, and just provide darn good entertainment to boot. We go on to also talk about The Bad Guys, which is still holding on as well, even after being out for several weeks, $2.8 million. So this film is inching ever closer to $100 million domestically, which it is likely going to hit. Bob's Burgers movie making another $2.4 million. Still don't have an actual budget for this film as of the recording of this video, so we'll have to, of course, wait and see before we can actually break that down. Downton Abbey still holding on a little bit. $40 million domestically, so it is still making enough to where it might be able to inch itself ever closer to $100 million, which would be around its break-even point. So even though this film is making about half of that of the original film of this, obviously TV series franchise, it is still doing well enough to where it could still make it and cross the finish line. Everything Ever All at Once is still hanging around as well, only dropping in 26%. This movie honestly surprises me every single week with the amount of holds that it has and the weird release schedule that it's had. So another $1.5 million there. Silent Hedgehog 2 is seemingly getting another release, a little mini release, even though it's been and is available. I believe it's available on physical media at this point, or very close to being available on physical media at this point. And then the second weekends for Crimes of the Future and Watcher. These are limited films under 1,000 screens, and so these are not all that surprising numbers there. It's really hard to say whether or not these films will end up making their money back or not, as we are also still waiting on reported budgets for those films too. Looking a little bit further into this relationship, though, between Top Gun Maverick and Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, as you can see, 12 days of Top Gun Maverick's release versus the 33 days of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. By the end of this weekend, right, so you'll have, 15, 16 days versus almost 40 days of release, you'll notice that Top Gun Maverick will have surpassed that of this film. So even though Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is still making hundreds of millions of dollars in net gain profits, which is very good, Top Gun Maverick, at least domestically, is looking to easily pass it up and could even be one of the largest domestic releases in a general sense of the year 2022, or at the very least of the summer of 2022. Now, there's still a lot of films set to come out, but Top Gun Maverick is definitely looking to be at the tops of the year for at least the domestic marketplace. So as you can see, if that film is able to get to the $400 million mark there, and once those international box office numbers are able to update, I imagine that it'll be around $300 to $350 million once those numbers actually update. So you're looking at the movie being close to, $750 million or so by the end of this weekend. That is a very, very strong showing after 3 weeks of release. And it does seem to put this film on pace, especially if those holds continue from week to week, to maybe be able to inch itself towards the $1 billion mark. It might be able to do something that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is going to have a huge struggle to even contemplate getting to at this point in time. If you look even further at the numbers at the same point of its release, right now, if you look at the second Tuesday, right now we're on the second Thursday of the release of Top Gun and Maverick, $321.8 million versus the $302.7 of the film Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. As you can see, the second Sunday is when the film officially passed up Doctor Strange, and now it is just easily outpacing, easily outdoing all of the numbers that were done by this film. And so this is looking to be quite an interesting competition, and it looks like it's no competition really left at this point in time, even though Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness did have a $520 million international number, which might be a little bit more difficult for Top Gun Maverick to be able to actually pass up, because of the fact that Top Gun Maverick is definitely playing a lot better in the domestic market than internationally. It's still playing very well internationally, but in comparison to it's definitely, Doctor Strange will definitely be a film that is going to appeal to a broader range of audiences. That's just the kind of the nature of it, similar to how Jurassic World Dominion is going to be able to appeal to a broader range of audiences, whereas Top Gun Maverick is going to appeal a little bit more, just statistically, a little bit more to American audiences and to North American audiences. I think that is the reason why you could still see Doctor Strange hold out in the international market, to hold out over Top Gun Maverick. But yeah, it's looking pretty good for this film, and so it'll be very interesting to see where these numbers end up by the very end of their run. And of course, we'll be following that here on the OMB Reviews channel. But what are y'all's thoughts about this? Do you expect Jurassic World Dominion to be one of the biggest films of the summer? If it's not the first $1 billion film of the summer, then Top Gun Maverick, I think, will be. I think we might have even $2 billion films playing around here. And this is even before things like Thor, Love, and Thunder and other movies like that, other crap like that come out. So it'll be interesting to follow and interesting to see nonetheless. But any thoughts about this and anything else I mentioned in the comment section down below. If you like this video, smash that like button, let that fire button on Odyssey. Y'all are all amazing and beautiful people. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, God bless. And now for a huge special shout out to my June Keeper of the Bifrost and Chosen of Valhalla level members: Brandon, let's go Brandon, Christopher Bowman, Garrett Searles, Hymir Irie Hymason, Jeff Toon, Joe Horn, Jonathan Carney, Laura, The Modern Major General Story, Father Luca, Mike Jackson, for the win. Mad Mitch Dunaway, Orange Chat Reviews. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel. He just hit 1,000 subscribers. Rosetta Allen, check out her YouTube channel as well. Stan Andrian, Miss Martin Muses, check out her YouTube channel. And also, of course, the amazing Tina B, Empress of the Universe. Check out her YouTube channel, especially her show Soup to Nuts that she does with the amazing Stephanie B. Thank you all very much for supporting me over on Patreon. And a huge shout out to all of my subscribers as well over on Subscribestar at these levels. Matt 317, Storm Tracker, the R, Fast Reaction, Mr. Roy, and also, of course, J-Rod, the Beer Guru, and ZK-Man. You guys are amazing. And a last shout out to my locals members. We have Miss Minnesota Hockey Fan. How about a hockey player? We have Mike Jackson for the win once again, Robert Barnes, and Brett D90. So I want to say thank you again for being my members at the Keeper of the Bifrost level and the Chosen of Valhalla levels. If you want your name specially shouted out at the end of every single video and live stream, please check out my links at the Patreon and Subscribestar. You can find those in the top link in the video description, the Willow link, as I like to call it. We can also get access to things like giveaways, things like the podcast I do with John the Flick Pick Flickinger, and other cool stuff like that. Anyway, thank you all very much for supporting me for the month of June. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, God bless.